Hello, welcome to my WIP and Chat. WIP meaning work in progress, where I'm working on something and chatting about my thoughts, life, work, books, my dog, just stuff in general. I am working on Autumn from the one with the diamond art today. I am using a Diamond Art Club pen with Diamond Art Club steel tips. I'm using a yellow dog tray today, and I am actually testing out for the first time ever the Butterfly Effect Wears ... putty. This is the Mistress of Evil. Look at it. It's so pretty. I love the little sticker. I can't place what the scent is, but it smells good. Like, I like that. It's light. It's not like fruity or anything. It's kind of sweet, but almost has like a spice to it that I cannot place. But look at it. It's so pretty. I like it. I'm excited to try it. I've heard nothing but good things about this company. So let's try it. I kind of want the green in there. So I stabbed it, doing wiggle wiggle, and it came in there easily. I think I might need a little bit more. I am the best at overfilling and then finding out how it works. Let's kind of just dive in. I'm so excited to try this putty. Anyways, before I get all distracted by pretty things, let's start with the letter J. How is your week going? Mine has been okay. I had a massive migraine yesterday. I actually threw up at work from it, and thankfully it was not busy and I was able to go home after the little rush that was there. So that was pretty good. I read the schedule wrong when I was like, hey, I'm only gonna be like 4 days a week, 5 days a week. Nope, I am officially 5 days a week and then on call 1. So there's a potential I will be 6 days a week, but both jobs said they would try really hard not to call me in because they don't want to overwork me. And I also told them I will not be covering shifts because what days can I actually cover a shift? I'm working almost every day. But it's not forever. It is just for football season. I think I overfilled this just a little bit, which was to be expected. I tend to overfill until I get used to and learn what a putty actually needs to be. Because some of them, like I like the Randas a little bit overfilled, and then Pure Bliss Wax Co. I like to be underfilled, and then the DAC, the modified one that I did, I like to be completely flush. So it's just kind of trial error, see what makes it work. Anyways, work. So yes, I am 6 days a week, 5 days a week, 6 days. I don't know what I'm doing. I am 5 days a week and will be doing on-call 1. So I'm pretty excited about that. It won't be forever, just until football season's over, and then I will be 4 days a week. And then on top of that, with the season coming for Christmas time and gift giving and New Year's and whatnot, one of the bars that I'm working at is connected to a neighborhood where it's mandatory to decorate because they do like rides through it, and like the HOA requires for you to live in this neighborhood for you to decorate for the holidays and stuff. Christmas is the big one that's mandatory. Halloween is optional, but this neighborhood goes huge, and I'm talking like vendors and hay rides and hot chocolate stands and the popcorn stands and all the goodies and all of that fun stuff, and it gets so freaking busy because this bar is connected to it, and they normally hire like 6 new people just to maintain it, and that means the core crew that works there for, actually works there, because we do have seasonal workers, like I was saying. They don't get top picks for schedule, and if I'm already scheduled these weekend days where most people go out, I get to keep that schedule, so I'll have the busiest days for the season coming up, and I'm freaking stoked for that. That means I'm potentially going to make a little bit extra Christmas money and pay off some stuff and be able to get a really good security system and all of that fun stuff. So I'm super, super stoked. So yeah, it's looking like I am working Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesdays I'm on call. So I guess I'll have Thursdays off, which is fine. And yeah, they are all evening shifts, so they don't even compete with my husband's job, so I don't have to find childcare. And it just feels so good and so accomplishing to know that I've done pretty good for both places. And I know when I'm working. I know what hours I will be there. I won't be breaking my back bartending till 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then waking up to get the kids to school by 7:15 because they have to be there at 7:15 in the morning. So I'm just grateful. I mean, I was going to take anything. Even if I had to work until 3 in the morning, I would have. But I am doing all waitressing. So that means that I am first cut. So I won't be working all night. Granted, the nights still might be pretty late, but not like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning late to where it takes like an hour or two, depending on how busy it is, to close. So I'm freaking thrilled with that. And I think that'll also make it possible for me to maintain pretty much most of the schedule that I am doing for YouTube. It might not be 4 days a week all the time, but this gives me a chance to still, during the day while the kids are at school, to work on content. My goal is still to stay consistent. So we're still going to stick to the 3 to 4 videos a week, but I'm kind of just going to be batch recording and then also posting when I can, because this is a hobby and I'm just relieved. I'm so relieved, and it's so nice to see all this hard work working. Like the grasp that I had around my throat is loosening. The knots in my chest are loosening because stuff's getting paid. Like it's finally, like I'm finally seeing the fruits of my labor, you know? I'm finally, you know, getting Netflix back and just like the little things in life that we got rid of just to stay caught up, you know? And it's such a blessing to be able to support and be supported and be able to, you know, have that ability to go back to work and work really hard and, I don't know, just help provide when it's needed, I guess. And it feels good. Granted, I do miss having a regular sleeping schedule. That would be nice. But I'm just thrilled to finally see some payoff. I guess is all I have to say. I am so freaking grateful for the way life's going right now. You know, emergencies and fun things change. And with those change, you have to evolve and change with it. And that's what I did and what my family did. And we are in a really good spot again. Like, we're not fully caught up, but we are making responsible choices. And my husband's birthday is today. And because I have been working so hard and so often, I got him a few things for his birthday, and I don't know, it's been so freaking nice. I guess it's just all I'm trying to say, but I will stop talking about it. I just feel grateful and blessed that I'm able to work, I guess. And my no-buy is coming to an end. I'm freaking stoked for that too. Granted, I still have to be spend sparingly, but still, I could actually have the means to save for what I want if it doesn't go out of stock or whatnot, or save for specific things. Like, it's happening. It's freaking happening. Okay, I need to stop gushing. I'm exhausted. I don't know, I think I'm just in a grateful mood today. Oh, speaking of migraines, I have been fighting this migraine now for about a month. Like, it comes and it goes, and last night was just the last straw. It finally hit, but I think I managed to get most of it under control. I had an appointment this morning and got the little injection that they put in your butt, which sucks, which means I have a sore knot in my butt. But I do work today, and I'm kind of excited because it's Football Monday, And we've been having a pretty decent crowd, and I'm starting to realize like who the regulars are, and I'm a little bit more set up and prepared for it, and it's going so smoothly, and I'm really excited to work tonight. I forgot how much I liked the noises of football. Like, it's just comforting to me, I guess. Like, I don't really watch the sport, but hearing the chatter around it and just the people that come in and the excitement that comes, like people shouting at the TVs and like playing around and messing with each other if they're on opposite sides. I don't know. I need to stop talking about work. You guys are probably so tired of hearing about bars. But I do have one more thing about work to talk about. I don't really talk to anybody about work, so I guess I should choose you. I worked an event. It was for the deaf and blind school here in the town that I'm at. And it was a a writers club event. So it was like a biker event, and oh my God, it was just like last time. So many beautiful people, and I had so much fun. And of course, I spent money on things to help, donate. I bought a couple raffle tickets. One was for like pretty much a gift card, enough to cover new seat covers and like a steering wheel cover. I wanted that so freaking bad. I bought a few raffle tickets for that. I donated a little bit of cash. We had 4 bands. Oh my God, it was so much fun. There was like vendors. We had a band in the front, and then we had bands in the back, and then we had karaoke inside. So it was just loud everywhere and people everywhere. We had vendors. We had people doing like popcorn, like kettle corn, caramel corn, cheese corn, and just fresh popping constantly. So it smelled freaking delicious outside. And then we raffled off. There was a motorcycle donated to be raffled off for the charity, and it was countrywide. And I think that's where most of the donations came from. But I mean, it was just so cool seeing and witnessing them call the raffle and see this like Harley Davidson motorcycle get raffled up and raise so much money for this school. Because like this school has gone from this little thing that didn't have much funding to where there was a buddy system that you could sign up for, like when you're in high school, to buddy up with someone and help get them transportation home if they had to use like public transportation, or if they were still learning or just didn't want to do it alone, to navigate all that alone. So it was pretty cool to see it go from having to have that buddy program to now the school is fully able to provide private transportation for them. So there is no worries. There is not that anymore. It's expanded so much, and these fundraisers have helped so much to where they're able to build new buildings and bought the property next to it to expand it. And it's just such a cool cause. Like, it's so much fun. I freaking enjoyed it, and I probably spent more than I should have. I mean, already when working events, especially if it's like a charity event, I don't make much money. Like, yeah, I get tips and I, serve drinks and food and whatnot, but most of the people there are to spend money on the event and to donate. So it's not like a huge money-making shift. It is just the funnest shift you could ever pick up. So I will forever always want to work those events. And I've already told the bosses, I told my mom, I've told the managers, I've told every other employee there, like, this is happening. I want to work every event. I love these people. I love the things that they support. And I want to do it. It's so nice coming home from work and just feeling good. And just feeling like you were a part of it. And they were kind of coming in before, not really knowing where to set stuff up and like trying to figure it out and map out the layout and what's gonna go where. And I kind of got to help with that, and just watching it come to life from behind the scenes to be able to work it and enjoy the event too. Just watching it come together is an amazing feeling. Yeah, so I'm loving this putty so far. I'm using my notebook because I filled up my other notebook and I've been having to work off of the laptop. And it's not that I don't love the laptop. Like, it has its purpose and its place for for certain things, but I like to handwrite things. It helps me, I don't know, focus more and get my ideas more sorted, because writing takes longer than typing. So I'm just really enjoying working out of a notebook again. My nails are finally getting long enough to do stickers. I'm so excited for that. I need to buy more. So hopefully next week for my WIP and Chat, I will have pretty nails again. They look ugly and stumpy right now, but I haven't bit them. It was really probably the best choice for me to cut them that short. Otherwise, I would have just totally relapsed and bit them to smithereens. So I'm glad I made that choice. I was sad at first, and then a couple of my fingers hurt because I did go a little too low, but I freaking am stoked. Like, there's not much chipping except for this one. This one is the exception. But yeah, I'm so proud of myself. Like, biting your nails is such a hard thing to to stop, in my opinion. Like, it was almost just as hard as quitting smoking. Like, so I'm sticking to it, guys, sticking to it. And I'm so ready to have pretty nails again. I think I want to do sparkly. When I get more, I want to look for something super sparkly, because they've been so bland for almost 2 weeks now. And I'm also trying to focus more on batch recording so that I could also edit while I'm at work. I've talked to both of my bosses about it. Jesus, I'm going back to work. I guess this is just a working WIP and Chat. I am sorry. But I've talked to both the bosses, and if I have to be there for a certain amount of hours, because sometimes they want you to be there just in case through a game or through whatever's happening, I am allowed to bring my headphones and edit, which is pretty cool. So I am trying to batch record and just edit when I can. And I think that this will work out. And I'm kind of stoked at how supportive both of my bosses are of me still wanting to be able to do YouTube, because they know this is where I get most of my joy. And on top of that, I've already deep cleaned. Like, I'm known to I don't do well with idle hands. So it's nice to know I have that support there too. And they're so intrigued. They're now trying to find out who could make videos and content for their bars and stuff, just for the Facebook group or the Facebook advertising thing too. So I've kind of opened their eyes to a new way of content. It won't be on YouTube, but just the idea of adding social media to your marketing plan. They're both looking into it now, because it takes a lot of work. And I was kind of just talking about how networking and all the fun stuff does. And they're like, yeah, well, if it's not busy and all your work's done and you kind of feel bad for standing around or whatever, just bring your laptop in and you could work while you work, I guess. Which I am totally down for. I love what I do. I do. It's not the most upstanding citizen job. My job is literally to serve drinks and food, but I take pride in it. It's hard work and I enjoy it. And I've seen my mom so much more than I used to, because I was so used to having to work around her schedule, and I didn't realize her schedule was working around because they were understaffed. So now we actually have time to hang out and work together. It's been so much fun. My kids are super excited too, because they get to see her a little bit more often too, now that we do know each other's schedule. Now she's not working 6 to 7 days a week. So it's just, and on top of that, our bond is so close, and I take so much pride in being oh, my mom's over there, and people coming in to see us both, and just seeing more family members and friends, and it's been glorious. I forgot for a little while how much fun it is to work with my mom. I will work with her forever. I think I have a whole story time or a whip and opinion or something about working with my mom. I think I do, so I don't need to harp on it too much, but I did want to mention it because she watches my videos. Hey, Mom! I love working with you. But yeah, no, it's been so much fun. When we did the event, she was outside, she was doing the beer garden, and I was waitressing, and she was just she's like, watch, she's not going to make much money inside. So what she's going to do is she's going to come out and she's going to be in people's faces, making sure they're taken care of, because it's super hard to do sections when an event like that's happening. Like we have front patio, we have the whole back, which is like tables and a stage and the vendors and all of that. But then inside you have a dining room, you have a game room, we have the bar area, and then another little dining area plus the kitchen. So it's kind of hard when everybody's inside outside to kind of gauge like what section you'd be. So I was floating around and she was saying like, look, she's going to come out and she's going to circle everyone and make sure everyone's taken care of, because when I go to work, I go to make money. Like I go to socialize. I go to make sure everyone's taken care of. Like that's the whole point of my job. Is it's like a teamwork effort for me. And there's this like, some servers and bartenders are like, hey, these are mine, don't touch that. You know, that's not my goal when working. My goal is to be like, hey, let's do this. Let's make sure everyone gets what they need, and we'll figure out the rest later. So she was kind of explaining that to her helper, and sure enough, I came out and I started doing that, and I'd go to the beer garden and throw her $20 and grab 4 beers of different kinds and ask people if they need refills and sell them on my own and do it that way and split those tips with my mom. And sure enough, like her helper, he was like, I walked up and I went to do it again. And he was like, wow, your mom knows you so well. Like you guys don't even have to talk. It's so weird. And it made it so much easier. And I guess he's super like rule follower. Like what was out, I think, is what he thought they had to sell. But people were asking for Coors Light. And I was like, well, just go into the walk-in and grab a 6-pack of Coors Light, add it to your inventory, and state how much you sold. Like, it's going to be fine. He's like, I don't know if I could do that. They didn't say. And I looked at him. I was like, just follow me. I'll do it. I'll show you how and where. And it was kind of funny because my little manager comes out. Like, if people are not getting what they want, where they want, like, I'm going to make it happen. Like, the whole point is ease of what they need, you know, at least in my opinion. So I did that, and then I talked to the manager and I let her know how I added to the inventory, switched around some beers, added different things. And she was like, wow, I would have done that, but you know, she was inside. And it was just, it was just funny. My mom's like, told you, Marissa has a tendency to take over and make shit happen. And it was fun. I love it. And my mom, she was just like, okay, I got it. And then she would be like, okay, I'm going to go inside and I'm going to do this. I'm like, do you need to go to the bathroom? And I would take over her little area for a bit. It was just fun. Oh, that fundraiser was so fun. I want another one to happen. I think November 2nd is another one. I'm so excited. I freaking love those. This is just a rambly freaking chat. I've already been talking for almost 30 minutes. Wow. My dog loves watching TV. So I have been watching the show Alone. And there is, I believe, a season on Netflix. And then I just got Hulu back. And so me and my husband watching that too at night. And Charlie watches the TV so intently. I'll put a little video up as I'm talking about it. But he is sitting on the couch. And the guy's trying to talk about how to make a rodent trap for the mice that were inside of his little living area. He kind of made like, I think a fort or something, but he's using the sticks and he's doing the thing. And my dog was more invested into this show than me and my husband. And it was so funny. My husband was like, oh my God, look at him. Look at him. He thinks those sticks are for him. And he just freaking watched that show. And then afterwards, I didn't get it on video. I wish I did. I stopped recording him. And then after a while, I realized he was still watching. And he was freaking drooling. Like, is this sticks for me? It was freaking adorable. But yeah, no, he is my TV watching dog. And then we've been walking almost every day again, and it has been so grounding and so nice to just go out and be a part of freaking nature again. And my dog is over the moon. Like, it's not just like the walks where it was like routine to where he was used to it. It was like he was happy prance, like he's doing his happy paws. Like instead of just, you know, leisurely walking at the side, he's like overlifting, like it just looked like he was dancing and trotting along, like happy guy. So he has a new theme song and we call it the happy guy song. And I'm just a happy guy. And it's so freaking cute. Like in the mornings, he kind of now, like he's getting used to it again, like realizing it's turning into our routine because it's finally cooling off in the morning. And he will do his morning stuff to help me take the kids to school because I take him with me every morning to take the kids to school. And then we throw the ball for a minute because he has so much energy in the morning and it's kind of hard to get him to focus on one thing when he has that much energy. He like vibrates with it. So I'll do like a 5-10 minutes just to kind of get him grounded enough to be like, okay, let's focus. And then when we come inside, he goes to where his leash area is and just like happy paws the whole time. Like, it's happening. I'm excited. Mom, did you know? And he like growls and not like growls. It's more of like a yodel and moos his way and like nudges my legs and tries to like corral me to where it's at. It's so freaking cute. I love it so much. And, we go around the neighborhood. We didn't have any scary Amazon ladies scaring us, and it was amazing. It's just so good for my physical and mental health, and it gets me ready for the day. And it's also made me realize I've been slacking so hard on my eating healthier, so I've been making it a point to eat a little bit healthier because this migraine that's been going on for like a month is not helping or like starting to go away. Like it gets to regular headache to where I can tolerate it and it's just there, to blinding headache for a day or two and then back to just a regular headache, back to a blinding headache. There has not been a day in a month that I have not had a headache, whether it be migraine or just regular. So it's the lingering of lingering, and I've realized I just need to take more action. Like I'm not going to adjust to my new schedule unless I take care of my body too, and just walking alone and grounding my mental health. And that's when I'm planning like what food I'm gonna eat and cutting out more sugar and making sure I eat more whole foods. And just, it's honestly has already done wonders. I actually had a full day. It was the other day where I had maybe just like a mini headache, and it was so tolerable. I was in such a good mood. I had so much energy, and it was just, it's been nice. Like I need that. So I've been back to that, and I'm so excited to feel better. Like I already feel the difference. I cannot believe, like, I like to trick myself into thinking, well, I had a salad today, so I guess I could eat a Snickers, you know? And it's really the Snickers and the extra sugar that gives me a headache. Or raw onions is a big one, and I love raw onions. And I've been like, well, if I have a salad and I throw extra raw onions on there, like, it's not gonna matter. And knowing that it's one of my biggest triggers, well, it's a regular headache today, not an actual migraine, so I think I could tolerate it. And it's just that avoidance, deflect. My head's not that bad until you finally have a date where you're barely in pain to realize how bad the pain really is, and you're just pretending it's not there. So I kind of kicked myself in the ass for that one. It's no one's fault but mine. But yeah, it's good. I mean, just a few little changes and it's already, you know, going back to good things, especially like my kids are so active, and in the weekends too, just starting my morning off with a walk with them alone just kind of grounds them and gets them ready for the day. They're more well-behaved, more willing to listen, more wanting to do whatever it is that they want to do. They'll talk about school and get their little feelers out too while we're walking, and it's just, it's nice, and I've missed it so freaking much. And sometimes you don't realize how much you miss something until you start doing it again regularly, and I'm friggin' here for it. Do you guys go for walks every day? And this also makes it to where I know more of like the school projects are coming. Like we did our conferences and stuff like that for the first quarter, and both of the teachers let me know, hey, we have school projects coming your way. One's like a book report and whatnot. And it was kind of nice with our walks. Like it feeds back into that. The kids are talking to me more about like what the projects entail. It's not like we're just sitting at a table and staring at each other while they try to explain it. Like they're having a chance to kind of walk, play with a few plants, pick up a stick or two, remind themselves of something and get excited about what they could do for the project and twirling around and running, and they're talking to each other about their school projects and bouncing ideas off of each other while also kind of playing. So I think this will make us better prepared because I am terrible with projects. Like I am not a crafty mom. I am not one to sit there and want to paint things. Like paint is terrifying. One, it's messy, and two, I can't stay in the lines for the life of me. Like coloring is not my forte. Creating art from scratch is not my forte. Like diamond painting is about as good as it gets. And it's just kind of nice seeing their creativity stuff come out on their own. It's where I'm kind of just like not the one helping them with the outlines, because when they were younger, I used to have to kind of come up with the concept and then teach them how to put the concept together. And now it's more of they're coming up with the concept and figuring out how to organize it and bring it to life. And I'm kind of the backup now, and I'm for it. Anyways, enough about kids and my experience being a mom. And then sometime in November, my husband has a 8-day hunting trip coming up, and it's bittersweet. Like I am so excited for him to go out and hunt because it's just, he loves it so much, and it's where he gets to ground himself and do something that he thoroughly enjoys while also providing and bringing home food and all of that. But at the same time, like the selfish little part of me is like, I'm gonna miss him. Like who's gonna be my buddy at night? Like what am I gonna do? So what I think I'm gonna do is plan to make extra content when he is out of town, because I can record at night, because at nighttime is like our time. We put the kids down, well, we have our dinner, we read to the kids, make sure they have everything ready for school, bath time, tuck in time, reading, kind of talking about what we're reading. And then me and my husband spend time watching whatever show and just like flirting, because, you know, flirting's my love language, and picking on him and talking shit. And it's just like the highlight of my day sometimes, to where I can just sit down, relax, had a good day with the kids, and we can just talk about our experiences of the day. And like, I'm going to miss that. And I know it's 7 days, but it's also sweet because then I get a chance to miss him. And like that first night's always like I don't sleep when he's gone. Like I don't sleep hardly at all. And that first night is like the pacing around the house and the checking all the doors and making sure everything's good. And I put the kids in my room so that I could just go and cuddle up with them when it's time. But just the missing him part. Like sometimes it feels good to miss him. You know, not have him there for every whim and need and want and random thought that comes to my head, so that when we do talk or I do see him again, like he'll call me at night, it's going to be that much more sweet. So there's that. And I'm kind of trying to prepare. I have to, for the first time ever, find childcare. Like while my husband's out of town. And I don't know how to do that. Like that sounds like such a thing that should be like in place, but I work nights. My husband works days, and we don't really have people watch our kids, except for like when the grandparents want the kids overnight or something. Like it's more of like a leisure thing of like, hey, we can take the kids for the night so you guys can go do a date night, you know? Not because they have to. So it's kind of like, is it weird for me to ask and say, hey, I need your help for when Mike's out of town these days, and be like, can you watch the kids? Like, I don't want them to feel like they have to. I don't know. Is that weird, or am I overthinking it? I think I'm overthinking it. But yeah, so it's going to be weird with him gone and me working and coming home to a house that's quiet and lonely. I don't know. It's going to be weird. I haven't had like a true night alone since I've had my daughter. Like by myself, legitimately, like by myself, without even the kids in the house. It's going to be weird. I don't know how I'm going to cope with that. I should be able to cope with it, right? Is that like a normal thing? I think it's about time to talk about my book stuff. I like to keep my WIP and chats, I don't know, around 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Like, it's not. I listen to stuff on 2x feed, so I can't really imagine spending an hour actually listening. I don't know. Do you guys like the lengths of these? I kind of like a more bite size. And I do plan on doing more WIP and opinions and WIP and story times, and I've been thinking about that. And I think I'm going to get back into that because I really enjoyed doing them. But yeah, anyways, books. I am on the last book of the Zodiac Academy series, and it's bittersweet because I finally enjoyed the series all the way through without all of the bullshit middle books, and I'm freaking fully invested again. And I know how it ends, and I'm kind of excited. And then I also have been putting a little bit of money aside so that I could buy some credit and finish the last Darkmoor series, but I also kind of want to find a new Motorcycle Club series. Like, I love that raunchy trash books that aren't like the most detailed crazy books. Sometimes, like, you know, people how they like their trash TV or like their reality shows that really just don't have a point to them. They are just watching people be ridiculous on TV. That's like the type of romance books that I like. And I'm kind of in the mood for that too. And then Audible did this promotion thing to where if you spend 3 credits, you get 1 credit free. So, and they also have the bundles to buy 5 credits now, which is like $50 for 5 credits. And then I spend 3 credits and I get the credit for free. Then I'm technically getting like 6 credits for a lot cheaper, because then it would be less than $9, like maybe $8 to $7.50 for a credit, which I think is worth it. And that means I could probably start a whole nother series with that too. Ooh, there is a motorcycle club series that has magic and gods and stuff in it. That's also a reverse harem. And I think I have the first 6 books of that series. And then they have the last 3 books of that series bundled up into 1 credit. So it's like a book bundle for a credit. And that means I'd be getting 3 books for the price of 1 credit, and I could finish that series. I think that's what I'm going to do next. Did I just come up with a plan to be cheap? I'm kind of stoked for it. And I think Troy Duran, which is one of my favorite narrators, is the narrator of that series for like the male voices. Ooh, I have a plan, you guys. Anyways, I also got Hulu back, so I'm going to be back on my Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'm freaking stoked. So when I catch up more on content and have some time, my plan is to binge the fuck out of it. I have missed Buffy so much. Like, I felt like she was kind of part of my life for a little bit, and I've been missing her. And I kind of want to see what Spike's gonna do because they're like a thing now. And I'm just sitting here wondering and like daydreaming and being like, I have Hulu back. Life's going back to normal. It's so nice. I am in such a positive, glorious mood today. And I feel like a freaking rambling rambler, but you know what? It is what it is. And I just want to hang out. Oh yeah, I mentioned Alone earlier and how my dog was loving it. And I wanted to say that we found this season where there's another YouTuber, his name's Clay Hayes, and he is actually on the show Alone because he's like a survivalist and he does some primitive style living YouTube videos, and he does like making traditional bows but from like complete scratch and breaking the chips off of rocks to turn it into an arrowhead, and just a lot of hunting. Like, my husband loves that, and I've been watching a lot of his videos because of that, and we realized he was on the show Alone, and I don't know if he wins or not. I didn't want any spoilers, but it's kind of cool to see another creator. Granted, it's in a completely different realm than this. Just seeing how far and how amazing it is to see him be a part of it and see him kind of survive and the struggles and just his cadence and the way he talks and the way he's like already kind of used to making content. It's really cool to see another YouTuber on like a survival show like that. And yeah, I'm loving the show. And also, I'm such a pansy ass. There is no way that I could ever go on a show like that. My ass would not survive at all. It'd be like, okay, there's a bear in my camp. Like, nope. Like this man, Clay, he tracked a bear just out of curiosity to see where it was going, and it like freaking charged him, and he was amazed by it. He wasn't terrified. He was like excited over the experience, and he said he is fulfilled and glad to know what a bear looks like that close. Like, motherfucker, that is a grizzly bear. That is a 1,000-pound bear that charged you, and you think it's beautiful? Like, no, I'm going home. I just peed and shit myself. Like, we're good. I don't want to do that anymore. So yeah, my husband's like, oh yeah, I'd hunt a bear. I'd go bear hunting. Yeah, but you'd be doing that with a gun, not out there where you're not allowed to have like a firearm protection. Like what this man has is like bear mace and a bow. Granted, a bow can do some damage, but on an animal that big with that much power, nope. I'm good. I'm gonna pass. I'll stick to a fancier camping trip. Yes, it'll still be in a tent, but I'll have my husband there to help me, right? Like, call me a priss if you want, but I'm good. Like, I am so good. I don't want to live off of fresh lake snails and fish heads. I'm good. I will have my s'mores, and I will have my foil wrapped apples stuffed with caramel and oats and cinnamon and bake it over the fire like that. Like, I have some good camping ideas for food. You know, I'll bring my freeze-dried freaking food packs. I will bring steaks. Like, I'm gonna bring my stuff. Like, if I'm going camping, I'm going to eat good. You know? So, survivalist I am not. Although it gives me a deeper appreciation for what my husband does, because he's more into the primitive stuff, and he goes hardcore. Like, granted, not like that, what they have you do on Alone, but I think he'd be able to do a little bit on there. Like, I'm impressed with his skills. He could read the land. And, like, the people that read the land, how? Like, freaking how? Like, tracking and foraging. Like, my ass would be too scared to pick a mushroom up off that floor. I'd be like, great, I'm going to hallucinate for life. Or, this is going to poison me and I'm going to die and deteriorate. And they're like, this mushroom's good for this and has these vitamins and can support this and has this many calories and this and that. I'm like, freaking how? That's insane to me. It's just cool, I guess, to see, like, different knowledge points of people. Oh, I don't know. Nope, I'm good. Pass. I'll have some steak and s'mores. And speaking of walking, I know I'm everywhere. I do this every time. But yes, on my walks, I have finally found, I have been on the hunt for some decent choya to send to Naomi from House of Miscellanea. Because I think it would be cool. One, I want one in my pen. Because she was explaining to me, at first I was sending it to her just so she can use as she needs or pleases, and it's kind of a cool plant. But then she said it's good to have something for home to help ground you, and she can, you know, integrate that into my pen, which that's pretty freaking cool. So yeah, I finally found some decent choya to send her, and then just for funsies, I'm going to send her some creosote so she can smell it, because I keep telling her how amazing and like the healing properties it has. And then I'm going to send her some really cool eucalyptus too. But it felt good to finally find some, because I haven't been able to walk often. So it was just like fucking finally. I know I have a potty mouth in this one. You're going to have to deal with it. And then I also finally was able to give my mom that diamond painting, the Captured by Radiance Skull Gardens one. And she was like in tears, hugging me and telling me thank you. So I'm excited to see what frame she's going to choose. I was going to go with her and take her, because my mom doesn't drive, but she insisted she wants it to be a surprise and wants to see, you know, wants me to see what she comes up with, because she wants to get it like specially hung and like maybe even do like a custom frame if she doesn't find what exactly she's visioning for it. I am noticing after using this for a while, it is getting a little sticky and a little gooey. So when it warms up, it does get kind of sticky, but seems to be working good so far. I am liking it. I haven't had too much run over. I haven't had any get on my canvas. The drills are sticking to it perfectly, and I'm really enjoying it. The smell isn't too strong, so it's not like choking me or making my headache worse, and it smells nice. Like, I am liking this so far. I'll keep keep you posted on how I like it too. And I think I'm going to do some housekeeping. All right, my beautiful sparkle butts. I think I'm going to leave this here. I don't really have anything else to talk about. I just wanted to ramble on about life and talk about things, I guess. I know these whip and chats aren't for everyone. It's just kind of for the people that are interested in, and just for me to get stuff out. And yeah, let's start with the survey. The survey is finally live, and I'm freaking stoked for it. It is the deeper dive into diamond painting, like the diamond painting community. I have that linked down below in my description. If you want to fill it out, it'll be completely anonymous. Share with everyone. We want creators, any and all creators involved, whether you like the idea or not. It's completely anonymous, and just you have the option to type out more questions and fill it out and whatnot. I'm stoked for it. So don't forget to do that if you haven't already. And then also I want to plug my benefits series, and I just want to talk about the benefits and share your story on why having a hobby like this benefits you, or just a story in general about having a hobby and how it's helped you, or if it's helped you, or if you just have an anecdotal story that is funny that you want to share, share it. My email is diamondsandthoughts@gmail.com, and I hope to hear from you. I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye.